I'm with Scott McAllister, a registered kinesiologist and the co-owner of CS Physiotherapy and Wellness Center in Kingston. Scott, the seniors population, they're quite vulnerable in this COVID-19 situation. They're in isolation at home, and what's the risk of that for them?
A few of the things for sure that we worry about are decreases in muscle mass, and you can start to see that even in as little as 3 weeks as being less active than you normally are. And then the other thing is bone density. So we can see a decrease in bone density because we're not up and walking and moving around and kind of giving our joints that sort of impact that forces our bones to stay strong. The other thing that really kicks in quick, and I'm sure a lot of us are feeling it already, is the effects of increased sitting posture. So we have a habit of when we are alone to kind of sit on our butts more than we should. And as a result, a lot of times we get muscle stiffness, and in particularly, folks can start to deal with more low back pain than they would normally experience. And then if there's a third, I think it becomes very evident very quickly, and that would be weight gain. It's really normal for us to keep consuming the same amount of calories that we normally do and eat the meals that we normally do. But for all of us, and especially seniors, our bodies are not up and active the way that they normally are. And this one kind of comes down to simple math in that the amount of calories that we're taking in are not the amount of calories that we're burning. So our body tends to store them. So we got to find other ways to move our body and use some of these calories.
So that's a good point. A lot of the seniors in Kingston go to the senior center where there's a lot of programs that help keep them active and fit. What can they do to replace that when they're at home?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Number one, it's going to sound fairly simple, fairly trivial, but it's just a very simple word, and that's to get up and move. It's really important that we change our postures frequently. Don't stay in any position too long. It's really important that we move all of our joints within your pain-free range of motion. You don't want to be taking things to the point where it's giving you a negative input. But very simple things like just flexing and extending our fingers and rolling our wrists. Very simple things like ankle alphabet, drawing the alphabet with your big toe, bending and extending your knees, depending on your ability, and whether you use an assistive device like a walker or a cane. Getting into a standing posture and lifting your knee as high as you can. Doing really simple things like hip circles or shoulder circles, the kind of stuff that we all learned in gym class that are really easy to forget when we're going about our day-to-day lives. And then I guess something else, Michael, would be chores. We all have a list, I think all of us do, of things that we've been putting off. And we can kind of convert that, I think, during COVID-19 times where we can kind of write things down and put it in a place that's visible. Hold yourself accountable and maybe attack some of those things that you've been putting off for a while, like, whether it's an indoor or an outdoor task, like raking or simply cleaning the windows, but you'll feel good scratching a few things off of that list each day. And then when in doubt, there's no other physical activity that's going to give you the benefit psychologically and physically in the way that dancing will. So get up and dance. I would advocate for all of our seniors in Kingston and the surrounding area to dance like no one's watching, under the reality that no one is. We're cooped up, and bust out your best move. And if you don't have a great cadence, then the other thing that we can do is just simply go to the first stair in your staircase and step to the beat.
Exactly. A lot of seniors go to the senior center and do dance classes with other seniors, but now they're at home by themselves. So how do they combat that loneliness and isolation they're feeling without their peers?
In order to be physically healthy, we have to be mentally healthy. And it's, humans, we're very social creatures. We do well when we're in groups and when we're in community. So I'd really advocate for seniors in our community to try out some of the new or kind of emergent technologies that are available to chat with friends and family at a distance, and even video calls, like technologies like FaceTime or Zoom or Skype. Give these things a try. Another thing that some of our patients at CS Physiotherapy and Wellness Center are trying is to connect with other seniors at a distance, friends of theirs, and try online workout videos and sort of keep one another accountable and check in with one another and hold your friend to account and ask them whether they did their workout. It's I won't advocate for anything in particular on YouTube because we all have different skill sets and abilities, but finding something that sort of fits where you're at and sticking with it is going to give you that sense of accomplishment each day too. And we have to remember as well to take care of our minds. So um, simple things like puzzles or Sudoku games, or there's never been a greater time, I think, to start up that hobby that you've been putting off for a long time. A funny story from the clinic would be we have two seniors that are engaged in a step counter contest. So each day they send one another their step counts, and they try and beat one another each day. It's kind of cool.
Scott, can you suggest some exercises that seniors can find online, perhaps on your website?
I'll be sure after our interview to put up a general program on the website, csphysiowellness.ca. It'll be a very general strengthening and stretching program that's tailored towards seniors. I would say, though, one piece of caution is that we always have to be very careful before becoming much more physically active than we normally are. So if it would be a big change for you to start a new exercise program, it's important to speak to your physician first.
Great. Scott, thanks for your time, and hope you're staying well at home.
You too. Thanks for having me, Michael.